For our last section, we're going to be looking at similar polyhedra. This will be similar to what we did in the last section of chapter 11, when we compared similar polygons. And if you remember what we did there, this will kind of flow naturally from that. So we've got these two similar polyhedra. Okay, these are both rectangular prisms. Okay, let's start by finding the surface area and volume of each of these. The small one here, surface area, I'm going to have two rectangles. Okay, this one and the back one, that are going to be 4 by 10, so that's 40. 40 and 40 is 80. I'm going to have two that are 3 by 10, 30 and 30 is 60. And then I'm going to have two bases, top and bottom, they're both 12, so that's a total of 24. So I'm going to get a total of 164 for my surface area. Now for volume, take the area of the base, which is 12, times it by the height, which is 10, and I get a volume of 120. Surface area of this larger one here, I'm going to have 8 by 20, and we have two of those, so that's 160 times 2 is 320. I'm going to have 6 by 20, which is 120 times 2 is 240. I'm going to have 48 twice, which is 96. So I get a total here of, let's see, 656. Yeah, 656. For volume, I'm going to have 48 times 20. So times 10 would be 480, times 2 would be 960. Okay. Now, let's look at our length ratio. 10 to 20, 3 to 6, 4 to 8. It's a 1 to 2 ratio for our lengths. 1 to 2. Our area ratios, if we take our surface area and put those in a fraction, I get 164 over 656. If I reduce this, I get 1/4. Okay, now this is what we did in last chapter. Remember, if you have the length ratio, you square it to get your area ratio. So in order to get volume ratio, we're probably going to have to cube it, right? So I should end up getting 1/8. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So let's check and see if our volume ratio actually works out that way. Is 120 over 960, is that 1/8? And it is. Okay, 1/8. So it's just an extension of what we did in chapter 11. Let's look at one example problem here. I didn't put this in your note packet, so if you want to take a second, write it down, hit pause and copy it down, and I'll start working through it. The surface area of two similar prisms are 32 inches and 60 inches. So my area ratio is 32 to 60, which reduces down. Let's see, 32 is 8 times 4. 60 is 12 times 5. 12 is 3 times 4. So I got 3 times 4 times 5. This is 2, 2, 2, 4. So the 4s will cancel, and I get 8 over 15. So my area ratio is 8/15. So if I want my length ratio, okay, to go back to length, I'm going to have to square root. Okay, so I'm going to square root this. Square root of 8 is 2 square root of 2. Square root of 15 is just square root of 15. To get over to volume, I need to cube my length ratio. So that would give me 2 square root of 2 cubed, which is the same as 2 square root of 2 times 2 square root of 2 times 2 square root of 2. Well, I know that 2 square root of 2 is 8, because that's what I started with. And we'll multiply that by 2 square root of 2, so I get 16 square root of 2. When I square the square root of 15, I get back to 15, but then I still need another square root of 15, because I'm taking 3 of them. So this is 15 square root of 15. This would be my volume ratio. So if I'm given my height of my smaller prism, okay, height of the smaller over height of the larger one should end up equaling this length ratio, 2 square root of 2 over the square root of 15. Okay, to find volume, I can set up a proportion using my volume ratio. So volume of the small one is 240 over volume of the large one should end up equaling this ratio, 16 square root of 2 over 15 square root of 15. And we'll just get some decimals here. So I can take 10 times the square root of 15 divided by 2 square root of 2. 10 times square root of 15, and then I want to divide. Make sure you put parentheses here, because if you don't put parentheses, it's going to think you only want to divide by 2. I want to divide by 2 square root of 2. That's what x is. Okay, and then we'll find so that's our height of our other one. Then we'll find the volume of the other one. So 240 times 15 square root of 15 divided by parentheses 16 square root of 2. Okay, so my height is 13.69. My volume is 616.19. Yep, 69. Okay, and those were in inches and cubic inches. Okay, so still just extension, setting up proportions, which is what we did in chapter 8, cubing or squaring our length ratio to get our area or volume ratio, which is what we did in chapter 11. So bringing it together.